Hello, everybody. Welcome to MTG Place Podcast. I'm host Corey, and with me, like always, is James and Josh. How's it going, guys?
Doing good here. How are we all doing today?
The pre-release was this weekend. Hope everybody had some fun. If you played in it, I did. Had a blast.
Heck yeah.
Comes to Arena on Tuesday of this week.
Should be probably today.
Yeah,
if they're listening.
Yeah, it's probably when this releases.
All right, so we're going to finish up the review of what we didn't get to last time. So, James, you want to start us off wherever we left off?
Yeah, so we made it through just the colored cards. So we are starting with the multi-cards. And our first one is Assimilation Aegis. It is 1 and Azorius, or white and blue, for an artifact that is also an equipment. When Assimilation Aegis enters the battlefield, exile up to one target creature until Assimilation Aegis leaves the battlefield. Whenever this becomes attached to a creature, for as long as this remains attached to it, that creature becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with this, and it has equipped 2.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. You get to get rid of something, and then you can clone it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, worst case is an O-ring, and then you can just turn your worst creature into what that was.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of an interesting spin on it, I guess.
Yeah. Reminds me of Fractured Identity. Sure isn't the best because once this gets destroyed, it comes back to them. But still interesting.
Yeah, you can maybe wreak some havoc for a turn or two, until they get irritated enough and get rid of it. Yeah, I'd say that's a decent card.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, we got Saturo, the Infiltrator. Blue-black, 2/3 human ninja rogue legendary. He's got Menace. Whenever Saturo and one or more other non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if none of them were cast with no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. So this triggers off all of your plotted cards.
Yeah. That's like what you're going for here.
Or if you have like some thing that just casts something for free off the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just rip it off.
Or the Ninjutsu Saturo.
Ninjutsu would work too.
Natural order stuff.
Yeah, it's all sorts of cheeky little things you can do with this, right?
Yeah. Ninjutsu itself.
Yeah.
It's a 2/3 with Menace.
Mm-hmm. Really cheap too. Like only two to play. It's not bad.
This actually might be really good. I played the original Saturo, the one from Kamigawa that gives everything ninjutsu. So, I mean, I do a weird combo with it where I can just infinitely ninjutsu. This would draw out my whole entire deck.
You just draw your card. Or draw your deck, yeah. Yeah, then you play Thassa's Oracle and just win.
Yeah. Once I'm there, I just loop in a random ETB where it was just like opponent loses 1 life when he enters battlefield. And that's what I went there. But, I don't know, it actually seems pretty good for like just normal ninjutsu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super good.
Solid. Low cost, low to the ground.
Yep, we love that.
Next up, we got a cool, the Unrepentant. It is black, red for a 5/5 legendary creature, Scorpion Dragon Rogue. It has flying and trample. You can sacrifice 3 other creatures to put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once a turn.
Okay.
That's pretty sick.
That seems pretty good, right? You sacrifice 3 tokens and you play something good, right?
Mm-hmm. A Razaketh.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean...
Avacyn, Angel of Hope.
Yeah. Iona, whatever you want. Many good targets for this. Yeah, I mean, in some kind of token-based deck, this seems super, super, super good. It's 4/4 5/5 with flying and trample too. Hello, like,
Yeah.
very well
It is
statted.
double black, double red pip, which is hard to do, but
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
if you're playing Rakdos, you probably have a lot of dual lands. So.
yeah. If you're playing a Rakdos deck, you're probably gonna be okay. If you're playing this in a 5-color deck or something like that, multicolor deck, that might be a little more difficult. So your filtering will have to be really good for this to fit. But I'd say it'd be pretty worth it though, because it's gonna do some work. Seems pretty good.
Artwork's fantastic.
Yeah, art looks amazing for sure. Freaking
these-
awesome.
Scorpions, man. Is this new?
Scorpion dragons now.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing, man.
All right.
They're scary. Dragons with like scorpion tails.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Shit's insane. All right, we'll move on from here. We got Laughing Jasper Flint. It is 1 and Rakdos for a legendary lizard rogue creature. It's a 4/3. Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their other types. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws you control. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells.
Yeah, this is insane and limited, by the way. So
Super good, yeah.
But I mean, so it turns all the stuff you steal into outlaws, all the creatures you play.
Yeah, I mean,
eventually you're just getting free
good.
spells every turn. It's just drawing you cards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Wonder if you I don't know.
You're just like stealing a bunch of shit, basically. Somehow.
Steal a lot. Trigger this a lot. I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely ways to do it.
I mean, if you have like ways to get multiple upkeeps, you can just keep doing it.
The new Obeka.
That's a thing. Yep. There are definitely ways to do that. There are a few ways to steal shit.
Yeah, you could play this in. Well, is Zedru black?
No, Zedru's not black, so this would not work in Zedru, sadly.
You're like a 5-color steel creature deck.
There's Blim, I want to say. Blim Comedic Genius. Yeah, that's the Rakdos steel stuff.
Yeah, so this would fit in that pretty well. Definitely.
Is that gives away stuff. Right. We have...
I mean, you're still gonna, like, no matter what, the first time you get 1, and then you'll get, 2 if you cast one of the creatures, and then if you just play any other creatures that are outlaws, it goes up to.
Right.
Okay, the bottom ability doesn't care about outlaws that you don't control but own. It's just number of outlaws you control.
Right, but everything you cast for your opponent's deck becomes a mercenary in addition, which makes it an outlaw.
Yep.
But what if you made infinite creatures at some point that were outlaws?
Yeah, then
exile your entire opponent's deck. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get it up to 4 or 5, it's like a draw 5, cast the best thing. Everything else is exile from your opponent. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super good and limited.
That seems good. Yeah.
Thinking in Commander, build this, just get infinite tokens somehow.
Yeah.
Deck your opponents. All right, we got Rakdos joins up. 3 black red for legendary enchantment. When this enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a legendary creature you control dies, this deals damage equal to that creature's power to target opponent. 5 mana reanimate's always kind of pretty slow.
Yeah.
But that second ability is pretty decent. Sucks that it has to be legendary, though.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there is a Legendaries Matter deck you could put it in.
Yeah. As long as you have enough that this will work with,
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay, but I think in general, the joins up cards aren't super strong.
Yeah, they're very mediocre from what I've seen.
But what
And
you
this
want
one's
when a creature dies, deals damage to its power. That's usually like non-legendary creatures, like tokens and aristocrats and
Right.
stuff. So that kind of
that's
like
usually
hurts
more
a
what you're
lot.
looking
Yeah,
for.
you're not going to have copies or anything. It's basically just going
No,
to be like you could if your thing happens to die, you could deal some extra damage.
yeah, which sure is kind of nice, but 5 mana seems like it's a bit high though. So we'll see, I guess. It's definitely a decent effect. It's just if it's worth it, you know.
It's like if this was like uh green, I mean you could put this in a Jund deck. Like a
Yeah,
throw mock, I'm thinking that has like devour or like a Mycoloth dies that deals crap tons of damage
Yeah.
somewhere.
yeah, that'd be super
I guess
good.
I mean,
Mycoloth is
it's
not legendary.
it's okay in like what's the one where you're sacrificing shit all the time?
Like an altar deck or something.
Some sort of aristocrat,
Yeah, aristocrats.
but they need to be
Or if you're
legendary.
Corvold,
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
like you just make keep getting
Or
Corvold
both
big and
really big.
then
Yeah.
fling them off or something. You could actually play Fling on a legendary and then you'd get it twice.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of setup for that, but sure, I guess. Just
like
for that
it.
one trick. But hey, it'd be pretty cute.
Yeah, it's a powerful effect. It sucks that it's legendary.
Yeah.
It makes it not powerful.
Yeah. It would be, it could be so much better.
Next up, we got Rakdos the Muscle. 2 black, red for a 6/5 legendary creature demon mercenary with flying and trample. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to its mana value from the top of target player's library. Until your next end step, you may play those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. Sacrifice another creature, Rakdos gains indestructible until end of turn, tap it, activate only once each turn.
Okay.
It's still a free sack outlet, which that on its own is pretty good.
Yeah, I played this in the Two-Headed Giant like all 4 games, and multiple times I just had my one mana guy out that dies into a 1/1, and I would just like sack it off on their turn to exile the top card, and then until the end of my next turn I could cast it, and then I get the 1/1, and my guy becomes indestructible, and it triggers a crime because I'm targeting it.
Right.
So
it's just combo city basically. It's just a super
yeah,
big
you
enabler.
can do a lot of like little tiny loops with it.
Which is
You can't
nice.
over and over and over because of the once each turn, but it's like
Yeah.
you can do it on your turn, you can do it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want basically, which is nice about something like this, especially since you don't have to.
But it's definitely
mana.
way better in like Commander because you could just aristocrat off some BS.
Oh yeah, aristocrat your bullshit.
So
This basically never leaves the field unless they they have to path it or something basically to actually get rid of it.
yeah, exile.
Yep. So yeah, like it protects itself really well, and yeah, this is gonna be great for anything that needs a stack outlet.
It's just like a 5 mana 6/5 flying trample. Like it's a big demon. It's good.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's good.
You gonna put this in your demon deck?
I gotta edit the demon deck. There's quite a few new ones, but most likely every version of Rakdos has been in it so far.
Yeah, I mean Rakdos has been pretty good over time, and
Yeah,
this
he's a
one
cool
seems
guy.
this one seems pretty good too, to be honest. So yeah,
So you can do like Gravecrawler loops or some sort of like sack outlet loops, Scrap Trawler and Mirror Retriever type thing.
What's the landfall one? Bloodghast?
yeah, Bloodghast.
Bloodghast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not
OG.
super infinite, but
No.
doing like loops just to exile cards
Mm-hmm.
from target player's library to deck themselves.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
like that. Probably gonna see that around a fair amount, I think, because yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
our next card is Roxanne, Starfall Savant. It is 3 and Gruul, or red and green, for a 4/3 legendary cat druid creature Whenever this enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with when Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, and add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced. Wow, this has a lot of utility. Jeez, okay.
Yes, you guys remember Meteorite? How bad that card was?
Yeah.
I played it.
It was 5 mana for deal 2 damage, tap for a mana.
Yeah.
Well, now you get a 4/3 that also allows it to tap for an extra mana on top of that for the same mana cost.
Yeah, but this enters and attacks though.
Yeah, you also get it again every time you attack.
So that's makes it a lot better, honestly.
I liked Meteorite. Like I tried it out for a bit. It wasn't good, but it was better than you thought.
Right. But I don't know. This seems like this could definitely be playable. I mean, the fact that you basically get double mana, and that's the thing. It's not just those. That's any artifact, by the way.
Artifact token.
So,
Token,
token. Sure.
Yeah, hurts it a bit.
But yeah. So, what are artifact tokens? Lotus petals or treasure tokens.
Our lotus petals, though.
I mean, yeah, the token version of lotus petals.
So broken. They're broken.
Like that seems super good.
Yeah.
My
first thought goes to Svella Ice Shaper. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but from Kaldheim, you tap 3, tap it, make an icy manolith that taps for 1.
Oh yeah.
Any color, then you can like tap 6 and kind of go low something.
Well, what's the other thing? There's the mana rock that like you could pay 5 or something and you make 3 copies of it.
Oh.
Then you have like 4 mana rocks, but 3 of them are tokens.
That would be very interesting.
Replicating ring.
Replicating ring. Yeah.
Replicating ring is the one where that gets up on upkeep, and once you get like 8 counters, it makes like 8 of them.
Yeah. I mean, you also have stuff like random replication too, which you can replicate all sorts of things, make a bunch of tokens. There's plenty of ways that you can definitely make this work if you really want to.
And you have Thopters and have like a way to have all creatures have tap add a mana.
Right.
Yeah, like just Urza.
Creature
yeah,
tokens.
Literally Urza.
Yeah.
Like
Urza tapping Thopters is doubled.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who needs Cradle? I have Thopters and Urza in this.
Right.
Yeah, this in the right kind of deck. Like obviously
this card is very powerful on its own, and if you build around it can be even better. So.
It can be super, super good when you build it in something.
Hilarious that they're making green-red more artifact cards. It's like
it's very
you don't do that.
Different for Gruul. Usually they don't really, unless it's like equipment. That's usually kind of it. But
awesome space to explore.
Yeah, very interesting. I like it.
Is that like a chocobo in the background? I don't know.
It kind of looks like that.
I love it.
Yeah, again, really cool art. Love it. For sure.
All right. Selvala is back.
Again,
Eager Trailblazer.
I hope he's better.
2 green-white for 4/5 legendary elf scout with vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only a sorcery. Then you can activate her by tapping. Choose a color. Add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control.
Okay, that's interesting.
The adding mana power is much worse than the other spells. I see it.
Yeah.
But it has the added ability of whenever you cast creature spell, create a 1/1.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, getting a 1/1 whenever you cast creature is good.
I mean, that's fine, sure, especially with something like Doubling Season, of course.
Yeah.
But the whole +1/+0 thing is kind of whatever.
I mean, the mercenaries are going to help you change your creature's power so you can at least get like 3 mana off this.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to think of like some Teamer Sabertooth things you can do. Or Teamer Sabertooth is pay 1 and a green, return a creature you control to the owner's hand. It gets indestructible, and then you keep playing like Dockside Extortionist or something, where then you get infinite creatures, things like that.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, obviously creating tokens is always fine, especially when you don't really have to pay anything to do it. You just have to cast something. Like, that's great. But outside of that, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical.
Probably make it, I mean, Teamer Sabertooth again, but like Earthcraft those tokens, and then you can feed into that mana, get some sort of ETB, White Mane Lion type shenanigans. It's
I feel
definitely
like
that's what you're building off of is the cast creature spell. The power thing is much worse than any other Savala we've seen.
yeah. I feel like you can definitely make it good, but you're gonna have to work for it. Definitely. And I don't know if it's worth it.
I think it's pretty good, but we'll see.
Yeah. Have to see.
Next up, we got Seraphic Steed. It's 1 and a green for a 2/2 unicorn mount with first strike and lifelink. And whenever it attacks while saddled, you just make a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying, and its saddle cost is 4.
Okay.
So just saddle it, swing, get an angel.
That seems pretty decent, right? Especially in Selesnya. I mean, hell yeah.
Saddle 4 is a lot.
It is a high saddle cost. Definitely.
Like we were saying, all rares are good and limited, basically. But Commander, like, you're 2/2 again. You're just making a 3/3. I guess you're doubling season type things. I don't even think I would run this in Angel Tribal. Like, I don't know about this one. Seems kind of weak.
I mean, you saddle 2 tokens, so like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, because say you have Intangible Virtue or something, you have 2 tokens, or you just have a 4/4.
Yeah.
Tap it, swing,
which
3/3.
Which you know, in all
and then
honesty,
like just having you all know you already have the saddle because you made it, but you just keep doing it every turn. I don't know. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's super great either, but
it's just super weak. That's like the thing that's really going against it, I think.
It's very easily
killed. It is super cheap though, which that's good. It's definitely good, and it does have some nice abilities attached to it.
First turn 1/1, 2 mana 2/2, 3 mana 3/3. Tap the 1/1, the 3/3. You get a 3/3.
I mean, this is a super good starter. Like if you have this in your opening hand and you're able to like go play it, jam it right on turn 2, like fuck yeah, that's a very good opener. And like it'll do some work until it'll probably inevitably get killed off in a few turns. But hey, it'll make you some tokens, and you'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah. It's like magical Christmas land, though, is what you're thinking. It's like, it's good in the beginning, but when late game...
Yeah, late game, this is gonna kind of cry, sadly, I think.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I like the art again.
The art in this is sick, by the way.
The clouds are the wings.
Yeah, I love it. It's just, looks like this in foil probably looks incredible, honestly. This would be a really pretty foil card.
Yes.
But yeah, like... Limited, sure. This is great, obviously. I don't know about Commander, though.
Rare.
Yeah, it's a rare, yeah. All right, we moving on to Wily Duke, Atene Hero. 1 in Selesnya are green and white for a 4/2 legendary human ranger creature. He has vigilance. Whenever he becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and you draw a card.
Ooh.
So this combos with the guy we just talked about.
Yeah.
Because it saddles.
Right, exactly.
And then it taps, and you gain a life, draw a card.
Okay, all right.
That's kind of cute.
That's the curve in limited. You'd be unstoppable.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have any way to just tap this, like just tap your own creature, because it has vigilance, so you attack and then just tap it. Draw a card,
Mhm.
gain a life. It's
I love
pretty good.
Earthcraft too much.
Earthcraft, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Native American representation here. That's badass.
Hmm.
I don't find that much often in Magic cards.
No, you really don't at all.
Okay, I got it. So you enchant an aura onto him that he taps for mana, right? So he can tap for stuff, draw. But then you draw into like all of those green 1 mana spells that say untap this creature. And then you get to tap it again for more mana, draw a card, play Legolas's Quick Reflexes, untap him, tap him again for more mana, draw a card. So you're doing Celestia Storm of just all these things that untap him while he can tap for mana.
Or
And
you just, have Earthcraft as any color mana.
Earthcraft, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Or just Earthcraft and like
Bunch of those
Pendant's
things.
Aura.
That just make him untap. Well, yeah, then you just go Pendant's Aura.
Infinite.
But this has, you can't run that in Selesnya.
No, you have to have blue too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to splash for sure.
What else can you? I don't know if you can untap. That's all I'm thinking of is like Legolas's Quick Reflexes and cards like that, where you can like storm off in a way with Earthcraft and other things.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another Selesnya that whenever she taps, you create a 1/1? I think there's a lot of combos there. I forget which one it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my
I
head.
guess making a creature is much different because you can run like Thornbite
There's
Staff.
also, isn't there just an equipment that untaps the creature?
I know like
Maybe?
that staff that does everything has to tap. I mean, it will cost a lot.
I thought there was something that was like pay 3, untap it.
Yeah.
Or pay 3, untap. It's like its ability. I don't remember. But it's like equipment.
Mm. Well, I mean, of course you have the Legacy Elves combo. Like that's all about basically between Heritage Druid and Nettle Sentinel and all those. Like that's what the deck's really built around. So there's definitely stuff that does that.
Staff of Domination, pay 3, untap target creature, and then pay 1 to untap staff. So 4 mana, you'll need the loop.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Very.
With
Yeah.
Earthcraft, you enchant your basic land with more wild growths and Utopia Sprawls. Get there.
You get there eventually.
Selesnya Storm, man. It's going to be a thing here.
I mean, green kind of has some stuff that does that to begin with. So, I mean, sure. It's definitely doable. I don't know how viable it would be, but...
If I didn't just make a new commander in this set, I would do it. I'd show you guys the Storm in Selesnya.
This the way of the storm.
All right, we'll move on to Kambal. Profiteering Mare. 1 white and black. For 2/4 legendary human advisor. When 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them... Sorry about that. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them, create a tapped token that's a copy of it. This ability triggers only once each turn. And whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life.
Okay.
This hoses your opponent's token decks.
Yeah, literally.
Wow, if they make a lot of single tokens. If they make a bunch at once, you just get 1.
Right.
My first thought goes to the hunted creatures. You guys know about the hunted creatures? They make tokens for your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get them too.
Yeah, that's kind of cute.
This is the first Blood Artist in the command zone. Ilkor MTG. Is he legendary? He was legendary. Never mind. Ilkor is much better.
Yeah. I mean, it's decent just to play against tokens, and the hunted things, you're right. You get a bunch of triggers.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
What if it's not into...
It's not like push or anything.
Yeah.
It's a 3 mana 2/4.
Which is fine. You
You
know.
probably just play this as a aristocrat deck anyway, as like a blood artist in the command zone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
instantly, oh, you're playing tokens? Well, I thank you.
How nice.
Yeah, I mean, you could just play the bat that does a similar thing. Like, it's almost better than this.
Right.
That was the Mirkwood bat, or whatever. It's like whenever a token leaves or enters under your control, they lose life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, better blood artist type effects, but this is in the command zone.
Right,
Mhm.
true.
Decent, but probably better options. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in a meta with people playing tokens, well,
Yeah,
here's
this card's
the
for you.
All right, next up we got Breaches the Blast Maker. 1 blue-red for a 3/3 legendary creature goblin pirate with menace. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, flip a coin. If you win the flip, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for it. When you lose the flip, Breaches deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So
So it's
either
like,
way you get the cast of your spell, you just either
Yep.
get it again, but you have to sack an artifact to trigger this ability.
yeah,
Right.
that's what hurts. You got to sack an artifact, but yeah, there's upside to both sides.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's not
pretty
like you
big setup
lose.
costs. You need to
Yeah.
double spell and have an artifact to sack.
Right, it's your second spell you cast. Which is very is it. But I don't know, this is
Maybe
kind
if
of
you do all
cool.
the hoops, but
It's cool, but yeah, hoops. You got to
There's a
jump.
lot of hoops though, yeah, right.
There's better stuff. Like
Yeah.
Crack the Thumbless is just, he has partner 2, which you can
Yeah.
partner up with blue creatures.
Yeah, right.
There's better things. I think you would just play this if you like the character.
Yep. Definitely. It's definitely unique, but it's there's better stuff that does similar things, especially to this, so that's easier to cast.
They can't all be winners.
Yeah, sadly. All right. Next card we got is Lila, the undefeated slick shot. 1 and isn't or blue and red for a 3/3 legendary human rogue creature. Has prowess. Whenever you cast a multicolored instant or sorcery spell from your hand, exile that spell instead of putting it in your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, it becomes plotted.
So you cast it twice. Yeah, as it resolves, you
Mhm.
cast it twice.
Yep.
yeah, so
basically
you cast it
twice.
once, and then you can cast it again on a later turn without paying
That's
mana
pretty
cost.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card. So on the other hand, this card is very good.
Yeah, you just have to build your deck with a bunch of multicolored instants and sorceries.
Yep.
Sounds
Yeah, as
like
long as
my
you're playing,
buddies.
that's so much
Why
easier.
is it?
If you're playing, is it sure? No problem.
Pretty good commander.
Sounds
This might be a deck where you could get away with just all spells and no creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have this as the commander. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, just have this do commander damage to people. Like,
I mean,
definitely
you still
doable.
run Dockside Extortionist, right? I mean, you can't not go without that.
Sure, if you want to play the chalk
Mm-hmm.
cards everyone plays.
Right,
Come on,
right.
they're the good cards though.
I know. You've got to, sometimes you want to be different.
I'm not like all the other spell slinging decks. I'm built different.
So they all say, give them a month.
This card seems cool though. I like it.
My buddy plays a Ramos deck that's all multicolored, like charms and things, and so this every single ultimatum I get to cast again.
Yeah,
would be
that seems
insane.
good. Fuck.
I'm not sure because it's multicolored inside this being the commander, but this inside like a 5-color multicolored deck
Yeah.
seems pretty sick.
Yeah.
The fact that like you don't have to like when it's plotted, you don't have to pay the cost either,
Mm-hmm.
which
Right.
is super awesome. It's basically like a rebound, but
Yep.
it's a rebound that you can choose when it happens. It just
Yep.
has to be a sorcery. But that's still pretty cool though. I think this is good.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know about this being a commander, because if you want like a prowess commander, there's better ones like Elsha the Infinite. It has prowess itself, and that one you can just combo off with Sensei's Divining Top. And
Sure, right.
I would see this as a 99 card.
Yeah. It'd be a super good 99 card, though, especially in a deck like that.
So, Standard Sorcery. All right. We move on to Malcolm the Eyes. So, blue and red for a 2/2 Flying Haste, Siren Pirate Legendary. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's okay.
Yeah, filler card again.
Yeah.
Artifacts Matter decks is it's something
Yeah.
you'll be interested in, but
It fits the
It's good and limited. Like,
it fits the Is It theme for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely, are there better cards that do stuff like this? Sure, definitely. Cheap, but it's also, easily killed and all that. So
I don't know. Is this even like it being a legendary creature hurts a lot for like standard and
right,
stuff like that.
You can't play 4 of them. That's unfortunate.
I mean, you can. You just have to wait for it to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is,
You'll be sandbagging one of them until the other one dies.
yeah, that always sucks when that happens.
So I don't even see this card being played anywhere besides limited.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like, I'd rather just play the uncommon that has flying haste and gets a 1/1 counter when you cast a spell. Like,
Oh yeah, it just gets bigger. Yeah. Oof.
Yep.
Next up, we got Pillage the Bog. It's 1 and a black for a sorcery. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is twice the number of lands you control. Put one of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and you can plot it for 1 black-green.
Seems nuts.
Yeah, it seems
Golgari
really
does
good.
not get cards like this.
Nope, they really don't. Not to this
mean,
degree.
Unless they're tutors.
Like, later in the game, it's like, look at half your deck.
Literally, like you wanna find something, you will find it.
Like, if you have like 8 lands, it's like, look at 16 cards.
It's like, Jesus, man.
Put the best one in your hand.
It's super, super good.
It's great.
Yep. It's very good. Very versatile.
Yeah.
Worst case, it's like an anticipate. Like,
Yeah.
But like, it's like sandbags. It snowballs like as the game goes on too, so it scales like naturally. Like,
I mean, it's always just to draw 1, but it's draw the best one of your X cards.
right? But you can find what you want basically. Which that's good.
Yeah. This would be like the backup tutors. I mean, tutors are just going to be better, but
sure, they cost 1, but
yeah.
This is the demonic tutor on budget.
yeah, the budget demonic tutor.
Demonic tutor at home.
Worry, I don't want to play cards other people play. This is my tutor.
Yeah. I'm gonna pillage the bog instead.
I really don't even play that many tutors. I do play demonic tutor if I play a tutor, though.
Right.
It's a pretty good card.
All right, moving on. We have the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. So it is 3 black and green for a 6/5 legendary frog horror mount creature. Has trample and haste. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature that's saddled at this turn. If you do draw X cards, then put up to X land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. And its saddle is 1.
Yeah, so you saddle whatever creature you want.
So literally anything.
Yeah. You usually don't want to saddle 1.
No, you're going to do something bigger probably. But you can literally use anything,
it's kind of like you could use it as like a mini greater good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That has almost more upside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You put the lands you draw into play, at least.
Yeah, which is actually
and
really sick.
Cards, not discard 3. Yeah, now that you put it that way, that's pretty good. It is greater good. You can just keep going and going and going and going, which is the broken part about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 5 mana, really do nothing until my next turn.
No, it has haste.
Well, it's trample haste, so you can do it right away.
Got haste.
Yep. I know, right? A black-green card with haste? What?
What are we in Golgari these past
I
two
know,
cards?
right? It doesn't feel like it. No, yeah, like this card's super good, honestly. Like,
It looks sick. All right. I'm on
yeah.
board.
I guess
You
he was
stack the top of
doing
your
some
deck.
real shit. Yeah, you can fucking go
Mhm.
hard, man. Especially if you have like a shit ton of land that's coming up too. You just ramp a fuck ton basically.
Yeah, you can put a
Like,
bunch of landfall triggers into play.
oh god, yeah. Especially if you're playing landfall. That'd be super good.
So I have a card I play in one of my mono green decks. It's called Scouting Trek. It's a sorcery, 1 and a green. Search your library for any number of basic land cards, reveal them, and set them aside. You shuffle your library, then put those cards on top of your deck.
Oh, that's cute. So you
So
can
with
just
this,
stack
you could
it.
just play them all.
Yeah.
All right, I have a 6/6. I'm going to sacrifice. All right, let me Scouting Trek for 6 lands.
Oh look, I can now play my big shit that's in my hand or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like okay. It's the biggest ramp ever. Yeah, this can be super dirty. So yeah, this is a fun
I
card.
mean, you get to be riding a giant Gitrog monster.
Yeah,
So,
I know, right?
Just like
Like-
Thalia did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think in the Vorthos realm, I thought I read something where Thalia died to this. Like it's inside Gitrog's mouth or something. I
Oh
wasn't
really?
Oh,
quite
okay.
getting it.
I don't know much about the lore, but sure.
So I don't know if Thalia's dead or not. I don't know. Something's wrong. Where is Thalia?
Yeah. Yeah, love it. Super cool.
We'll move on to Frasca Joins Up. I get all the joins up cards. All right.
Mhm.
Black and green for legendary enchantment. When Vrasco joins up, enters the battlefield, put a death touch counter on each creature you control. Whenever a legendary creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
This one
Again,
doesn't seem too bad.
It's okay, but not great. Like, do I care about death touch on creatures unless I'm playing a bunch of 1/1s?
It doesn't have like flash, which that's like that would be the
Yeah,
thing. You get
that
them.
would be the thing
Yeah.
for sure.
And then the legendary creature deals damage, draw a card is whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is why is it legendary?
Why is it always legendary?
And it being a legendary enchantment is it's like it's hard to play in standard and things.
Like, why is there so much?
Like I said, it's going to go in the legendaries Madras deck probably, and that's about it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Is it even good there? I don't know.
Like,
I mean, all your creatures will draw you a card then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
The
putting
death
it
touch counter is pointless.
It's
unless you have a bunch of
fine.
1/1s. But
if you have like trample
like
or
if you're
something,
playing like a board of 1/1s, then sure.
or if you have like trample or something, so they get trample death touch.
Yeah.
Like that's always good, sure, but yeah, it's what I mean. Sure, it's you get, and if you don't have a big board of creatures, then this doesn't really do anything. So then you're just like whatever. But yeah, yet another joins up card that's like it's fine, I guess.
Next up, we got Vraska the Silencer. It is 1 black green for a 3/3 legendary creature, Gorgon Assassin with Death Touch. And whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return it to the battlefield tapped under your control. It's a treasure. With sack this mana, or with sack this artifact, add a mana of any color, it loses all other card types.
So literally it becomes a treasure token.
Basically, it becomes a treasure, but you keep any like static effects the creature had.
Right.
So if you like get an Elish Norn, you still get the buff.
Yeah.
That's sick for sure.
Or enter the battlefield effects.
Yeah, ETBs, all that. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
You gotta hold up that mana, so like if this is your commander holding up Golgari stuff, it's not like holding up blue mana.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't really have much to do there.
Yeah, like Golgari can definitely afford to do that.
I mean, you just
Are
hold
you-
up a kill spell with it. But
Yeah. I mean, if it's
Yes.
black, then sure.
Then what's
I
your
mean,
green?
it's good flavor, right? Like the Gorgon's turning them to stone, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turning them into artifacts.
I don't know. I don't see it as a commander.
No,
mean,
it's
good.
maybe a 99 card. I mean, it's another Vraska card, but I don't know. There's better ones in my opinion.
When she was a planeswalker.
She was a good planeswalker.
Yeah, but she lost her spark now. Now she's just a really good legendary
Sadly.
creature.
It's a cool effect. I don't know. This is what I kind of want to see in action, like before I can really say how good it is. But I feel like in certain situations it might be pretty decent, but you have to have the additional mana up and all that. So it's like it's got some caveats, I guess. But
You can't take your opponent's commanders because they'll just do the replacement
yeah,
effect.
they'll just bring it right back. Back in the good old days, you could do that, but
Oh,
man,
yeah.
the old good old days
Tucking
of
commanders.
Commander. Back in the day when I used to play Oblation in my Commander deck, because I was like, shuffle it in your library, bye bye, no more
Oops.
Commander for you.
Yup.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore, sadly. All right, moving on. We got Bruce Tarl, Roving Rancher. It is 2 in Boros or red and white for a 4/3. It's all these legendary creatures. Legendary human warrior creature. Oxen you control have double strike. Interesting tribe. Whenever Bruce Tarl, Roving Rancher, enters the battlefield or attacks, exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, create a 2/2 white ox creature token. Otherwise, you may cast it until the end of your next turn.
I mean, impulse draw, but if you hit a land, you get a 2/2 ox.
You
Seems good.
get a dude.
And all the oxes have double strike.
Are there any other like ox cards in Magic?
There's a handful, yeah.
I feel like there's not very many.
They're all not great, though.
Yeah,
They're not very good.
it's not like you can build a deck around.
There's like
them.
the one ox in the one set that had the combo with the plow. It was like a 0/13 or something.
Oh,
There's
And
like
the
old ones in Ice Age.
card later we'll talk about, he makes an ox.
right.
So.
Yeah, it's a little bit of synergy, but like not like it's more just for this card, which is fine. You know, it's kind of an interesting
It's just
effect.
impulse draw in Boros, which is good.
Yeah, which is fine. Burroughs loves that's what it does. So, and you get you basically get an upside too if you get a land. So it's like cool. I make dudes that have double strike.
Should we switch to our segments?
Segments.
Sure. Hey. All right, I'll start off with my Jink combo. We'll go with an old card, Island Sanctuary. 1 and a white with our enchantment. You skip drawing a card, but until the beginning of your next turn, only creatures with flying or island walk can attack you. Use this ability only during your draw phase and only one each turn. So only flying and island walk things can attack you, right? You're pretty protected. It's like the moat, where only flying can do. But then you play the card called Mystic Decree. 2 blue for Enchant World. All creatures lose flying and island walk. So now nothing can attack you.
Rude.
Forever.
Rude.
You're just protected.
Oh my gosh.
You're stuck in your pillow fort.
So it's the kind of deck that we all just love to play against, right? It's just like, oh, this is cute. It's just like, oh, good. We don't get to play the game anymore.
Yes.
All right, Corey, you got a crazy card for us?
Yeah, my crazy card this week is Asmarano Manamana Kuldakar.
Excuse me? Want to run that by us one more time?
Asmarano Mordica Dastinicula Kuldakar.
Okay.
Anyways, it's a 3/3 legendary creature human wizard. As long as you discard a card this turn, you can play hybrid, red or black, to cast a spell. When it enters the battlefield, you search your library for a card named the Underworld Cookbook. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle it. You sack 2 foods to deal 6 damage to itself. But this is a crazy card because half the people in Magic can't even pronounce his damn name.
Yeah, that name is something, man.
All right, let me try. Asmorando Mordecasticindaculdagar.
That's probably pretty close.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Well, this was an early flavor text, like way back in the day.
Yeah, on Alpha's Granite Gargoyle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't usually see cards like that anymore that have insane freaking names.
That was in Modern Horizons 2.
Yeah, that's a new card.
Yeah, which is crazy. It sounds like one of those old school ones, from like forever ago. All right, on to a card that you can actually pronounce, most likely. At least hopefully. Jungle card this week is a card called Mirari's Wake. It is 3 green white for an enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. So this card is super good for especially token or go wide creature decks because you get a blanket buff on everything, which is always a pretty nice thing to have. But then what really shines about this card though is the extra mana. Like extra mana is always super good, and you're just able to do so much more, especially if you have like different dual lands, because you can choose a different color. Because it can be any type of thing that your mana produces. It won't like double your Cradle or something like that. You'll just get additional green for like what your Cradle would produce. But like, yeah, it's super good for like something like Exotic Orchard. You can do like multiple different colors with that. You can do multiple different colors from different shock lands or any other kind of land that does double, different stuff. So double colors or triple colors if it's a triome. So yeah, it's really good for that. Really good for fixing. Really good for just or filtering rather. And yeah, it's just it does a lot of work. I mean, it's 5 mana. It is a bit to get out, but once you have this thing out, like it just you basically have double mana, at the very least, and your stuff gets bigger. So very good for any Selesnya deck or other variations of the colors.
Yeah, it's definitely the cheapest one out of like being 5 mana over Zendikar Resurgence or Mana Reflection.
Because that's like 7 or 8, I think. And like, there's other ones that do similar stuff, but they cost a lot more generally.
Yeah, so this one gets down earlier to help get bigger things out.
Yeah.
Maybe like if you're doing a Palicron combo, untap 7 lands. Oh, they tap for more. Now I can bounce Palicron back and play Palicron, get infinite mana.
Yeah, you can combo off for 2. That was great.
Sorry, combos. Combos. All right, we got back to Ty Waken. Perfect Shot. A red and white for a 2/3 legendary human mercenary. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, draw a card. So, a perfect shot. X tap. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus X instead. So you can help aim it to be a perfect shot.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Okay.
It's okay. I mean, you could do like Burn Deck Tribal if you wanted with it.
Yep.
Yeah. You can make sack a creature, deal 1 damage to any target. Red enchantment. Things that like do just 1, you can help really push it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're casting stuff like Lava Dart, does 1 damage.
Yeah,
it's
you could like dump your mana into this and then just like play a creature and have the impact tremors or whatever. Just
yeah,
Image. Yeah, that's a super
of
good use for
damage.
this. Yep.
Yeah.
Because the Impact Tremors is a great card. It's on its own, especially if you're playing a very, wide creature deck. Yeah, that'd be a cute little combo with this. Like this.
Goblin Bombardment. There we go.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
card. There's definitely some cards that this could definitely combo with for sure. Just playing it willy nilly, like it's fine. I don't know, it's like
You
the
need
most
like burn.
amazing thing ever, but in a burn type deck, yeah, I think this could be pretty good for sure. Very
All right.
interesting.
Next up, we got Bonnie Paul, the clear cutter.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Yep, there he is.
3 green, blue for a 6/5 legendary creature, giant scout with reach. When it enters the battlefield, create Boo, a legendary blue ox creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equals the number of lands you control. Whenever you attack, draw a card, then you may put a land card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. And it's whenever you attack, it doesn't have to attack.
Yeah, it's any attack trigger, which is pretty decent.
Ooh, Simic again. They draw cards and play lands.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
this actually seems really busted though, just because like you could play a land from your hand or graveyard and draw a card just when you attack. Like what?
Yeah, that's a lot of triggers, honestly.
I honestly just built this commander in real paper and played it over the weekend. About like 4 games. Super fun.
Yeah, I can see it.
I built it in a weird way where it's like cloning Bonnie Paul. So like Sakashima's, I have the mirror box that like legend rule doesn't apply, so I'll have multiple oxen. Use the oxen to sack them to greater goods. Like a 20, those ox get huge. Sacking like drawing 20, discarding 3. I'll send a link to Corey and put that in the show notes if you guys want to check out my deck.
It sounds like that's fun.
It's hilarious.
If you're,
this is true Minnesotan.
Like Minnesota represent right here, everybody.
Yeah.
Like if you're from Minnesota, this is like literally our heritage in Magic now. So, which is pretty great. Like we literally have statues of Paul Bunyan up north, like in what is it, Virginia? I think.
You guys been to Paul Bunyan World?
Paul Bunyan land. Yeah.
I think I was a long time ago, like when I was a kid. But yeah. That's like a rite of passage when you live in Minnesota. Like you go there at some point in your life. Yeah, cool card. Again, the art is awesome. I love it.
Yep.
Great flavor, especially with the legend and everything. So, yeah, I like this. This is cool. And it's also really good. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Everyone's favorite planeswalker, Oko, is back. But this time he's Oko the Ringleader.
Still with no shirt.
Yeah, very shirtless again. So
how did he not find a shirt
in all this time?
Well, I mean, it's just going to get dusty in the old Wild West anyway.
Yeah, that's
where he can just spray himself off.
So he's doing Simic or green and blue for a legendary planeswalker named Oko. He comes into play with 3 loyalty counters. He has a static ability of at the beginning of combat on your turn, Oko, the Ringleader, becomes a copy of up to 1 target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. That's cute. All right. His +1 is draw 2 cards. If you committed a crime this turn, discard a card. Otherwise, discard 2 cards. Okay, so you got to commit crimes. His -1 is create a 3/3 green elk creature token. Well, there's the elk, of course. Have to have that. And then his -5 is for each other non-land permanent you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. All right. So you just double your board.
The doubling season check works.
Yep. Literally doubling season, basically.
Well, no, you get 2 copies of everything because you're getting a token of everything you have.
Oh yeah, right.
And also, doubling season is when a planeswalker enters the battlefield, they gain the loyalty.
Yep.
So
So
you can
yes,
ult
it's that too.
immediately,
You ult
and
them
then
right
get 2
away.
copies of everything you have.
Oh, gross. Love that.
Busted with doubling season. We broke it.
Super
Hey,
good
we
with doubling
broke doubling
season.
No way.
Wow.
But I think normally the play pattern is probably going to be either play it and then you try and +2 twice to get the ultimate, or you just make it alchemy, and then draw some cards.
Yeah. Passes the test where planeswalker making a body to block for them.
Yep, that's good. And he even becomes he can give himself hexproof too. So he can protect himself.
Becomes a creature, so you can attack with it if you want.
Yeah, you can attack, and he can't be targeted. Like if they want to target him, you can, I don't know if you can do that in response, but they said at the beginning of your combat, you can do that. Which, yeah. So he's able to gain hexproof. He's able to create dudes to block with, basically. He draws you cards as long as you're, targeting stuff, basically. And then then he'll just double your board. So sure.
I mean, it seems good. If I have a Grave Titan out or something too, I can just attack with
really good.
Oko as a Grave Titan, and then
oh my god, this and Grave Titan.
Let's go.
Gross, dude. Yeah.
4 mana is a little steep, I guess. I mean, that's pretty normal for planeswalkers, but we know the 3 mana ones are busted.
Yeah, that's the pretty typical run-of-the-mill planeswalker cost.
He's good. He's not as good as OG Oko.
No, he's not OG Oko. OG Oko was busted, but he's still pretty decent, I'd say. He's gonna hold his own for sure. He passes all the planeswalker tests, so there you go.
Yep. All right, we got Ariette, the Beguiler. Beguiler? I learned a new word today. 1 white, blue, black for a 4/4 legendary human warlock with lifelink. Whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to that aura's mana value, gain control of that permanent for as long as that aura is attached to it. So you play one of those goading vows onto opponent that's a 3-drop or less or whatever, the same one, and you get him.
Yeah, or you could just play like your Spirit Loop on their creature, or Animate Dead or whatever.
Has to be equal to the aura's mana value, so you only get the 1-drop or the 2-drop.
Right. Well, classification, get their big thing, and it gets +20/+20.
Green card, but yes.
Oh, that's right. It's a green card. What's the indestructible thing? What does that cost? Like 4? 3? Yeah, you can only steal cheap creatures. What the hell? Yeah. What is an expensive one of these colors?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It's not a ton.
Anything super expensive probably already gives you control, like control magic.
Yeah, that shit usually costs 5, and that's generally kind of like the upper level of PT. So yeah.
I don't know. It'd be fun to try and build around it, but I don't know how good it's going to be.
I mean, to be fair, annoying creatures can be cheaper creatures. So like, there's that. You can get stuff that has like abilities or status effects, or
definitely take the stack pieces, the Orcish Bowmasters or Thalias,
things like that. Like, you're gonna have a hard time getting their Elish Snoring, but
you could just
like
play a bunch of pacifism type stuff too, and so like you either gain control of it or they just can't.
Or they don't do shit. Yeah, that's a thing too. That's a very viable play.
What's nice is that I know there's some of them that you can pay mana and just bounce it back to your hand. So if board wipe's coming or something like it, you can just switch it onto somebody else.
Okay too.
Switch it off, or you just have sack outlets. You just take something, sack it, get that one back, play it.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool card. This is one I would like to see played though, for sure. Before, see how like actually viable it is. I think in specific situations it could be okay.
Next up, we got Marchesa, the Dealer of Death. It is Grixis, so blue, black, red, for a 3/4 legendary creature human rogue. Whenever you commit a crime, you may pay 1. If you do, with the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other in the graveyard.
Oh, okay.
So anticipate whenever you commit a crime.
Yeah, literally. That seems pretty good, right? Because how often
The
do you
flavor
commit a
text,
crime?
you should have folded when you had the chance.
We were joking about like how often do we commit crimes in Magic? Basically all the time. I mean, come on. as long as you have mana up, like, yeah, you get to look at shit.
There's ways to do infinite crimes, like I was saying before. There's 0 mana activated abilities.
Yeah.
That touch your opponents.
So how good is pay 1, like anticipate or whatever that effect is?
That's the question.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I think it's like, yeah, it's pretty, I'd say it's pretty decent. Cheap, has a big enough butt.
Would you pay 1, draw a card? Because this is better than draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It has a big enough butt, so it's not going to get bolted easily.
Like, I always say card draw in the command zone is very powerful, so
yep,
probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say this is going to do some work. Definitely. All right, our next card we got is Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. It is 1 and Grixis, blue, black, red, for a 2/5 ogre or legendary ogre warlock creature. It has menace. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you get that many additional upkeep steps after this one, or after this phase.
Oh, yeah.
So, hello.
Really fun.
This seems super
like a fun build around deck for Commander, just playing a bunch of stuff that triggers on upkeep.
Yeah, and it's just like buff this too, so it's just like it's huge.
Yeah, then you get a bunch of upkeeps.
You get a fuck ton of upkeeps.
Looking at a card called Darksteel Reactor. It's a 4 mana artifact. It's indestructible because it's Darksteel.
Of course.
But at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a charge counter on it. And when Darksteel Reactor has 20 or more charge counters on it, you win the game.
Okay. Combo?
So
there's a win con.
You can also play like Paradox Haze in this deck.
Yeah, exactly. Paradox Haze. You get like the shrines, so like you do shit on each of your upkeeps. Like you draw cards, you deal damage,
shrines are awesome.
Do the shit the shrines do. Like that would be sick with this, honestly.
Yeah. This seems so fun.
Yep. I love it. It can only be the Grixis ones if you're having this as your commander, so you can only do blue, black, red. So
yeah.
But honestly, the blue, black, and red ones are the good ones anyway, right? Like the green one gives you like a dude.
Like medium, it's just discard.
Oh yeah, the black one's discard.
Blue is draw and red is do damage.
Right. I forgot what the white one does. Oh, it's gain life.
White one is gain life.
Yeah.
The green one is 1/1 token.
You get a dude, yeah. So I mean, you miss out on the life gain and getting a dude if you're just playing these colors, but I mean that's still fine, right? I mean, you can do plenty with that. They did not have cards. You rack them basically, and then you deal a fuck ton of damage, and then you draw an ass ton of cards. Like, seems good.
You can also play that Sphinx that gives you a whole other beginnings phase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that really can synergize with this. Like this seems like this could be a really fun deck.
Yeah. All right, we got Annie Flash, the veteran. 3 red, green, white for 4/5 legendary human rogue with Flash. It's in the name.
Mm-hmm.
When Annie Flash enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever Annie Flash becomes tapped, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn.
Ooh, sick. Okay, so a little impulse action.
Again with the tap tips, tippy taps.
Tippy tap tap.
Earthcraft. Shout out again.
Find 3 CMC or less matters card.
Yeah. That's interesting, right? 6 is a bit.
Earthcraft.
Hey, there it is.
It
You
six
guys are
isn't
looking to pick it
horrible.
up.
It has flash.
It has flash though. Yeah. So, which is good. You get shit back, like tapped, sure, but like if you don't play this on your turn, then you don't really care, right? I mean,
Yeah. Reanimate on Naya is pretty different, and it's permanent. So maybe I'm building around lands matter, and I'm getting my
right.
Crucible Worlds back that they
Yeah.
just blew up.
Or
Yeah,
a
that's
wasteland or something. Yeah. For being that kind of Magic player.
Yeah, it does get lands too. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
get back your good lands, or like they blew up your cradle, get that back, or yeah, you're playing like a Crucible deck, get back your wasteland and blow their shit up. Like, yeah, a lot of stuff this can do. Really, it's pretty versatile.
Yep. 6 mana is a lot, but
Yeah, that's the only downside is it is expensive. But if you're able to play it, yeah, it does a lot.
cool.
Next is Annie joins up. 1 red, green, white for legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. And if a triggered ability of a legendary creature you control triggers, trigger it again.
The hang.
Okay. It's gotta be a creature, so it can't be like a planeswalker or something like that, sadly. But yeah, in a legendary matters deck, doubling effects could be okay.
Depends on like your commander, I would say.
Yeah.
If
It
your
really
commander
depends.
has a good trigger ability.
It's okay with Annie Flash. Like,
Yeah, with like her
Yeah.
ability,
2
sure.
things back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be pretty cool.
And a tap one would trigger twice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Paying 4 but dealing 5 is still a decent rate too.
Yep, that's decent. Like, it's definitely not bad. And it can be planeswalker or creature. Can't be face, sadly. But hey, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah. If your
For
commander has a good triggered ability, I would look into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is by far I think this is by far the best joins up card we've seen.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
out of all of them. Like all the other ones have been kind of but this one's actually decently statted and actually like doubling triggers is usually pretty good. So yeah, it's hard to fuck that up. All right, our next card we have is Geared, Mirror of the Wilds. He's Naya, so red, green, white. For a 3/3 legendary creature, it's a human shaman with haste. Non-token creatures you control have tap. Create a token that's a copy of target token you control that enter the battlefield this turn.
So you can populate your token for every creature you have in play that's not a token.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
That's actually
Kinda
kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty
It doesn't
good.
say to end a turn either, so like you
Nope.
keep those tokens, like you populate, yeah, like you said.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily lose the creatures because they're replacing themselves, like by tapping them down. It's like sure you're tapping them down. You can't attack with them per se. But yeah, I mean you have to do it when they come into play anyway, so they're sick, right?
Right.
So like, what else are you doing with them? Like,
I mean, you still have them for your next round.
yeah.
So
Like unless you're trying to tap them down for some other effect that you have, but. So yeah, I guess like they're kind of just sitting there doing nothing anyway. You may as well tap them to create a copy of itself.
Create a token of target token you control. It's not creature token too. So if you make some tokens of
if
something.
you make a treasure, you could tap your
That's true.
non-token creatures down to make some treasures.
That's kind of cute.
Or like we were saying,
It also works with the other, like his Rhino commander of himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Him himself works with himself.
Yeah.
We were saying you can make tokens of really anything nowadays.
So.
Yeah, you really can. I feel like this could get like crazy in the right kind of deck, right?
I mean, if you play a lot of cheap creatures, yeah.
and then you have something in play that doubles the shit, like a doubling season, a parallel lives, something like that. With this, like you can just go, just explode, right? And then all your creatures can basically do that. Like, who needs risks? I'm not gonna pay 6. I'm just gonna tap my creature and fucking just copy shit that way.
It's definitely the balance of finding token cards and like real cards, but those real cards are probably just going to be your mana dorks.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. This is pretty cool. I think this.
Everyone
this
run
seems...
Dockside. It's red. Be a normie.
Be a normie. Run Dockside.
Run Dockside. Your red deck.
Yeah, I think I really feel like this could.
Oh, okay, so that means in this deck you got to run Dockside, you got to run Smothering Tide.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You got to run Doubling Season, Parallel Lives.
Bro, are you even
Primal
making
Vigor? It has white in it, so you may as well play the White God that triples your effects. I mean,
it's like you're saying you're not putting in a Soul Ring or Command Tower. Crazy.
Yeah, I'll put in Command Tower. Put in Soul Ring.
Put Command Tower in every fucking deck. Come on, it's not even
the most
expensive.
broken land in Command.
Command Tower only uses up a land slot, though. Doesn't use up one of my card slots.
Right. But yeah, super good. I think. Like the only thing is, yeah, it can be bolted, sure, but other than that, I mean, and he has haste, so he can trigger right away too. So you can basically make a copy of him, right? Or
no, it needs to be token.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you make a token of him, which is possible.
Yeah.
You suck at shooting it.
That'd be interesting.
All right, we got Kellen Joins Up. Green, white, blue for the legendary enchantment Joins Up. When this enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes blotted. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Which actually seems better than most of the...
Yeah, that one's not bad.
That for 1/1 counter on all your stuff, but again, you have to play handful of legendary creatures then.
Yeah, it's gotta be legendary shit again.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you're a go wide deck, and then you play your commander, and everything gets +1.
Yeah. That's fine for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what if your commander is this guy, Kellen the Kid?
Oh. Yeah, there you go.
He is green, white, blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, human, fairy, rogue with flying and lifelink. And whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may cast a permanent spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Oh, fuck.
If you don't, you may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield.
Oh, sick. Okay. That seems pretty good, right?
So
Shit.
Plot cards, foretell cards, casting stuff from your opponent's library. Best impulse drawing off yours.
Yep.
Mind's Desire?
Yeah, Mind's Desire.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that works with this.
Impulse draw, but you're playing Bant.
You're not playing red though. That's or Boros, which is kind of what Impulse Draw usually is.
No black for Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah, want.
They made it difficult because it's green. It doesn't have black and red.
My Underworld Breach.
Black and red, basically, yeah. It's Bant, so you got to find Bant cards that work for this. But that's a really good effect if you can.
Yeah,
like, that's super good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Again, it's a 3/3, so he can be bolted, but he does a lot, man.
How is he? He's a fairy?
He's a fairy.
I guess he is Oko's son. He's Oko's son.
Human.
So.
Yeah. I love how he basically has an energy sword in his hand from Halo.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
That's literally what it looks like in the art.
Oh, yeah.
I guess badass.
6 feet away from him, he just lunged.
That's just flying lifelink.
Yeah,
yes,
there you
flying.
go. He's gonna fly right into you. He lunges.
Lunges.
This is Halo 2 where you're bouncing off of each other, lunging.
Yeah.
To the top.
You're lunging from like 15 feet away because your reticle's red and you're like, it's like a grappling hook, basically.
Yeah, it was.
or the hook shot from Zelda's go. Yeah, that's really good. If you can find the cards to play with it. All right, we have our last card, which is Riku of Many Paths. Green, blue, red for a 3/3 legendary human wizard creature. Whenever you cast a modal spell, choose up to X, where X is the number of times you chose a mode for that spell. So the modes are exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play it. Put a +1/+1 counter on Riku of Many Paths. It gains trample to end of turn. Or create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying.
I'll make a
So
bird.
make the bird.
Yeah, that seems like the most logical one because exiling the top card of your library and playing it till the end of your next turn.
Next turn, yeah.
This is next turn.
So yeah, you can stack that up real good.
Drop, or pay as much as I can on the modal. Why would I? I wouldn't have any mana left.
Right.
Right.
But it's till your next turn. Okay, that makes it playable. All right.
Yeah.
Both are good.
Oh, there are a lot of modal spells where you can choose multiple modes multiple times.
Yeah.
This definitely goes really, really good with that.
Yeah, all the confluences and plus all the new spree cards.
Yeah, the spree cards for sure. This is really good with the spree cards, honestly, especially the cheap ones. Yeah, I mean, this can really do you got to get a fuck ton of birds, and you can basically stack your next turn if you have nothing in hand, especially, right? Yeah, just a bomb. Oh, that's kind of cool.
I mean, it's more just like value. Play some modal spells, get some more value out of it.
Yeah, it's just more value. Who doesn't want more value, right? It's cheap too. It's only 3. It's pretty good.
All right, and that's all we got.
That's all she wrote.
If you want to get any of these cards, don't forget to use our TCG Player affiliate link. It's in the show notes and on our website, mtgplace.net.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
See you next time.
Peace.